you make the leap into the audio world for your pharmacy podcast?
Yes, I pretty much had to. I've got
Yeah.
really good audio equipment now. Like
I can tell.
my mics, my mixer, everything. Like it's really good.
Nice.
Yeah, it sounds a lot better. Hi, it's Paul.
Hi, Paul.
Hopefully all our stuff's good again.
Also, part of the deal with me agreeing to do this was I didn't want to have to do any work.
Yeah,
nice.
Pretty much. I do all the work.
And Jeremy was like, "I'll take care of all of the work." So
listen, that worked for me from day one of the radio show.
That's true.
Yeah,
that is true. Yeah, absolutely.
It's not so bad. I mean, I got to do this stuff anyway for my other show. I may as well do it for this. You know?
Oh, fuck you, Marnie.
What did he say?
He says, "Unfortunately, I can hear y'all now."
Yeah, we just had to start it all over again. That's all.
That's all right. That's all right.
Where's our comment? Yeah,
all the good stuff. All the good stuff is yet to happen, so we're all good.
Yeah,
we're all good.
But yeah, sorry folks. I don't know what went on with our streaming, but I had issues with StreamYard earlier today too when I went live for like 4 hours to pass our PBM bill. But 2 new co-sponsors today, everybody. But yeah, I've been having some issues with StreamYard today, and I don't know what it is.
All right. Well, we're working now. Chris Arnold says, much better, but I can hear Paul now.
Yes, it's an
Hey, listen.
It's a trade-off.
It is
listen,
a trade-off.
Last Friday was supposed to be Chris Arnold Appreciation Day at the Virginia Tech hockey game, but instead they decided to honor veterans who served our country and allow us to have the freedom to do shit like this. And I was all for Chris Arnold Appreciation Day, but I got outvoted and we took care of the veterans. So you all see where I'm at.
What?
Chris Arnold Appreciation
What was that tangent? What the fuck are you talking about again?
The tangents are just for me and a select few people. If others get it, great. If not, meh.
You don't know what you're getting when you tune into this.
Either way, we're not breaking down third quarter travesty football right now.
So
See,
to me that's better because it just gets depressing whenever we do that. If you all want just go over to Boundary Corner after we're off. Like, breakdown.
Oh, you want a real football talk?
The only breakdown in here is our emotional breakdowns.
That's mindless ramblings of people drinking.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, all right. So, Jeremy, here's the deal. I do the PA and the music for Virginia Tech's club hockey team, as I believe you know.
Yes.
And Chris Arnold is part of the Wake Forest hockey program. So this is where this all comes from. We have a power play sponsor in Grand's Home Furnishings. Chris Arnold would like you to take that over next year so it becomes a Counts Family Pharmacy power play.
I tell you what, we pass this bill, I probably can because I'll have fucking money again. That'd be pretty cool.
Oh, there you go.
Everyone, call your representatives and ask them to sponsor the Pharmacists Fight Back Act, HR 9096. We only need
put it in
more.
Can you put it in the
get to 50?
Can you put it in the comments? And who do we like? Are we talking state? Are we talking federal? Like, who do I have to reach out to?
Federal. Call your House member. Like, it'd be Morgan Griffin.
Is that Morgan Wallen or Morgan Griffin, whatever his name is? Okay. I'm not sure which one.
They both
I'll call them both. That's true. HR, is that right, Chris? HR 9096? Is that the right one?
Yep.
Okay.
Pharmacist
All right.
Fight Back Act. So my daughter can go to college. I'm so fucking poor.
Joseph says Morgan Wade. Now I don't even know who we're talking about. Holy cow!
She's great.
Okay. Who is that? Morgan Wade.
Morgan Wade. Yeah, she grew up in Floyd. She's amazing,
Floyd, isn't it?
Yeah, amazing. Amazing singer.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, she's good.
Okay.
She's like national level good.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you guys. At first, I thought you were talking about the girl that got all drunked up during the home run derby in the All-Star game and sang the national anthem, almost as bad as Roseanne Barr. Almost.
Negative.
I don't know anything about baseball, Paul, but I do remember that drunk girl.
This is a semi-football podcast, Paul.
A very semi-football podcast.
Is it though? Is it?
Floyd
Is it
featured in
though?
Rolling Stone recently.
Okay. All right, I'll check it out. Joseph, do me a favor. Text me her name so I can jump on Spotify. I will forget. In fact, I've already forgotten. I think it's Morgan Wade, but text it to me, please. So that way I don't forget. I'll look her up on Spotify and I'll listen because I love me some country music.
Yes, Paul.
Also,
yes, Paul.
I didn't have an old man rant for this week because there was nothing to rant about. There
Paul,
was
everything
we
you
didn't
said
we
so
didn't
far
play.
is old man rant.
Well, that's fine. We didn't play. We didn't lose. We also didn't win. Michigan didn't play. I had a very stress-free weekend. Let me just say,
There you go.
I didn't have to worry about Michigan. I didn't have to worry about Virginia Tech. The Lions rolled over the Jaguars like they were a concrete paving truck, and the Jaguars were concrete. Hello, Igor. You want to say hi to everyone? So I had a very, very low stress week. Igor, on the other hand, got high on Saturday. So I can share
great
that.
story.
I can tell you that the vibe around Blacksburg is still shitty.
Yeah.
I'm glad you had a stress-free weekend. A lot
I did.
of other people are very worried about the state of our athletic program, football, basketball, everything else, because we pretty much gutted everything to try to make sure we were good at football so we'd make money. And we fucking suck. And if this continues, our entire athletic department's going down the drain. And that is kind of a problem for many of us. So it's stressful.
True.
But I'm glad you had a
That is
stressful
fair.
weekend.
I had a stress-free week. I hung ceiling fans at Bristers. Like I said, Igor got high. It was a good, not intentionally, but it was a good weekend.
Super high Igor.
He
Very happy dog.
he stole a pipe from a friend of ours and chewed it up, and then proceeded to eat whatever was in the pipe. And
Nice.
obviously
Fun.
he's doing just fine.
Well, may as well go right into Hokie High.
There you go.
That's right there, Bear Dan's Hemp. Shout out Chris Reese. The Hokie High, I would say, is Igor was the high point of this weekend. Clearly,
He was. Yeah.
Since nothing.
He
else
did
was
throw
going
up.
on.
He didn't like it. He threw up, but it's all good. He's bounced back.
He greened himself out.
Yeah.
This is our
The question is, will he ever do it again? Hopefully not, but I don't know. I might have to go see Chris. I gotta come there. I gotta come there on Thursday. I might pop in and see Chris and just see, because he slept like till 10 o'clock in the morning, which never happens at our house. So I actually got to sleep in for the first time in a year. So, Chris, you got me? All right, brother. All right, I'm gonna come in and see you.
Wait, we need to get Chris on the screen here.
Chris,
I need to hear about the swinger parties.
You are listening to Joe Rogers too much right now.
I cannot confirm any of that
right now.
I cannot confirm any of that.
So far, that comment is in the lead for the evening.
Yeah, well, it doesn't take much to win.
I got a message from Joe, and he's just like, "What do you know about these Blacksburg Country Club swingers parties?" I was like, "I don't know anything about that."
You don't get invited to
There
those?
were any? I didn't get invited to any.
Oh. Huh. Well, that's no good. Dave, do you get invited to the swinger parties?
I do not, unfortunately.
I don't either.
Or fortunately, probably. I don't. No.
I'm curious. I guess
No.
since there's no real football to talk about, I'm gonna dive into this with both feet. What is the socioeconomic status that you have to achieve, in theory, in order to get invited to these parties? If
I guess
is the litmus test.
I guess it's above anybody on this one because none of us know.
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's fair. Chris Arnold wants to know if there's any unnamed donors at the party.
That would be why they're unnamed at the party, right?
Yeah,
That is true.
we don't even know if
I mean,
these parties exist.
I'll say this. Whatever it is, they're rich enough that they're used to keeping secrets because this is the first I've heard of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Joe, when
I have
say
not heard
Joe
about
Rogers, I don't mean Joseph Rogers from Quest Floor Care. I mean,
Oh,
Joe
yeah,
Rogers
no,
on
no.
Twitter.
No,
Yeah,
Joe
that'd
Rogers
be
on
confusing.
Twitter. Big difference. Big difference.
Joseph's been at home like,
not
who
you.
is-
Sorry.
Not you, brother. Different
Sorry.
Joe.
Yes. Sorry, Joseph Rogers. Yes. We will refer to you as Joseph Rogers. He is Joe Rogers. That is the delineating factor. Apologies. Chris,
knows
$10,000 donation.
10K donation and a bottle of Diddy's baby oil will get you into the swingers party.
Yeah.
You know, get.
I can't
greased
afford
up.
either. I can't afford either.
All right.
Maybe.
Joe is not confused anymore. But no, these are the rumors that float around that are, you know, fun for a lot of people to say, but no, these are real people.
Yeah.
I don't know where
this is the first I'm hearing of this.
Yeah.
Yes, it was a fun one. That you all have no clue how many rumors don't even get this far. That behind the scenes, a lot of people just have to be, no, that's not true, because a lot float around.
Was Buzz Williams ever invited to these swinger parties? This is what I want to know.
Oh,
But he just stood in the corner and yelled the whole time.
Condescendingly, just telling people
right.
whatever he wanted to
And
say.
just an Argyle sweater and no pants.
You could watch, but you couldn't ask him questions.
That's right.
I don't think a lot of people out there really understand how much people in like local sports media hated Buzz Williams.
Mhm.
Oh my God. He was the worst. He was like, I will say when Mike came in after Buzz left, all of us, every single one of us were like, what do we ask him? Because for the last 5 years, anything we asked just never got answered.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'm going to ask him whatever I want to ask him and we'll see what happens. And then he answered it. And it was like,
What?
oh shit. Whoa. Wait a minute. I do think that somebody at Texas A&M got to Buzz, because one of my favorite things to do is like probably about once a year I'll go, especially if like A&M is having a rough patch, I'll go and I'll watch some of their post-game press conferences with Buzz. And I think someone in the A&M athletic department finally told him, look, you can't keep going on these rants. Like, you actually have to answer these questions. You can't just say whatever the fuck you want to say because you don't like the local media. And because he will now, so like if Jeremy were to ask him a question, he'd be like, yeah, Jeremy, great question. And he'll answer it. But then he goes on his rant. But at least he answers the question, the initial question first, before he goes on his diarrhea of the mouth diatribe. So
does he look like he's experiencing like a anesthesia-free root canal the entire time he's actually answering the question?
all the time. Yeah, the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is one of those things where, like, if you get into
Does
that,
he still look like a sweaty thumb?
he does. He does.
If a
yeah.
man ever needed more hair, it was Buzz Williams.
I know.
There was
I know.
just so much
when he
flesh.
started growing his hair back, I was like, that is much better.
Yeah.
Bald
There was
Buzz
just
did
too
not
much
work.
flesh on him, even just like
Yeah.
coming out from his neck hole, just flesh
Mhm.
everywhere, and it was just too much. I don't
You
wanna
will
see
be
that much.
happy to know that he still does the wardrobe change before the press conferences, which is a
I
very
think-
Buzz Williams. This is Igor's
Yeah.
butthole, everyone. Just in case you're wondering, Igor's butthole making
Yes.
appearance.
Very
on the
shiny
show.
butthole.
Hey,
Our shining example
can
for
you-
the week, since
Did
we
he-
didn't have a game, is Igor's butthole.
There you go.
I would pick someone from
Family
like,
Pharmacy
the
rock
basketball
hard
team,
player
but
of the game.
I didn't watch any of the basketball games because I knew we'd be terrible, even though I'm going
Yeah.
to start watching them again. Good Lord in heaven. Welcome to Hokie Sports, everyone. At least our girl seems good.
Yes, that is very true. I was actually just getting ready to look at that. Hey, you know what? Here we go. All right, I can give one out. Let me look here. Let me look. Hang on.
They won.
All right, are you ready, Jeremy? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
You got
I
the
am
graphic.
always
You got the
ready.
graphic ready for me?
I've had 3 hours of sleep, and I'm going.
Okay. All right. All right. Nobody come at me because of how I do this. This is all in good fun. our Couch Family Pharmacy, where you can get a year's supply of Viagra for just $150. Rock hard player of the game.
Rock hard player.
It's like, it's Carly Wenzel, ladies and gentlemen.
Woo!
19 points,
Wenzel.
3 rebounds, 3 assists, 5 steals on the night. Carly Wenzel, our Couch Family Pharmacy, rock hard player of the game.
Paul, I just realized we can't give her that trophy. We absolutely
Probably not a good idea. It is no longer 1989. We cannot.
I've
give
never
that.
bitten my tongue so hard right now.
Yeah, that's how we get restraining orders.
That's why I
It's
preface
all
it.
good
Y'all
fun when
can't
we're
get
giving
mad
it
at
to
me for
football
this.
players. We start running up to the girls' basketball team with our Rock Hard Player of the Week trophy. And it's not going to end up well for us.
Carter Brown, out of nowhere,
We need to
just
think
tackles
these
me.
things through.
Evan Hughes kicks it away.
Evan Hughes dives in front of us, saves us all, saves us from ourselves. Evan would save us. No, that's a situation even Evan would not or could not save us from.
No. Evan, that is one of those where if Evan saw us coming at someone carrying the trophy, he would immediately turn and walk as fast as he could the other way.
What happens when it starts
Oh.
when the on switch kicks in as it hits the ground?
We did not install the on switch, but now we feel
that's
like we
good.
have to, Dave. Thanks. Thank you.
I mean, it is a giant bicep. It's got a, like, if you're flexing and you're flexing real hard, it's going to shake a little bit. So that makes sense to me.
Grayson, Evan would be so uncomfortable right now.
Maybe we should dial in Timmy Thomas to get his thoughts on it.
No.
Bring in
That's
Tim.
not, we don't even joke about that on here, Dave Perks.
Oh, okay, good.
We got to bring in Tim for his
You are now
take.
officially on a 3-minute ban from talking.
Oh, okay. All right. Done.
Grayson is right. So behind the scenes, pull the curtain back. That is something that I would have done prior to Evan and I going on the air. Is I would have asked him something just absolutely inane and been like, so I want to bring this up during the show. And just to watch him like just squirm because poor Evan, God love him. Whereas with Tim Thomas, I would actually just do it on the air.
Do it on the air, yeah, right.
Oh, Tim, we love you, Tim. You made it so easy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he does. Hey, Tim's
one of the greatest moments of my life was the birth of the Tim Thomas erotic fan fiction. Highlight of my life, everyone.
Getting text messages on the radio station text line from Griff talking about how you were typing frantically to get all of your thoughts out before you lost them was great.
Yeah, that was always a highlight of Griff's day was listening to whatever shit Paul was going to give me and seeing how I would react to it. Sometimes I just sit there and every once in a while I'll just drop a, God damn it, Paul.
Yeah.
But every once in a while he'd get a really good one and I'd yell.
Chris wants to know, before the last game, we said we would win one more, so are we beating Duke or UVA? Chris, here's the problem. Here's what's going to happen. I hope I'm wrong, because if I'm wrong, we just start this whole vicious cycle all over again. We're going to beat both, and then we're going to go and we're going to win a bowl game. Now, the bowl game might be the shit we suck this year bowl versus Michigan or something like that, but that's what's going to happen. The Hokies are going to go 3-0 in the next 3 games. And we're all going to get this delusional hope that 2025 is going to be our fucking year.
I'm not doing it this
year.
Here
we go.
Paul. I can't do this to myself again.
Well, okay. So how do we break
what's going to happen? We're going to go 3-0 and we're going to play Michigan. We're going to play Michigan, and they're actually going to rule a game-winning catch was caught. And then we're going to bounce back after that because the curse will have been broken. And we will have caught that game-winning catch against Michigan.
I hope
There you go.
Michigan is trash. So They're going to get bowl eligible this week. Virginia Tech is going to be bowl eligible this week. Virginia Tech is going to beat UVA. Michigan will lose to Ohio State. It makes perfect sense that you stick both those teams in the Pinstripe Bowl because I'm going to tell you right now, that will draw eyes. Even though that is a third-tier bowl, Michigan versus Virginia Tech in New York City will fucking draw eyes. And
Yeah, that would.
And then Virginia Tech is going to win the game decisively because here's the thing.
You think we're going
Ain't
to
nobody from Virginia Tech getting drafted this year. So nobody's going to sit out.
That's right.
So,
and I mean, and the other thing too is, I mean, the question there, are our best players going to play the bowl game? Well, Kyron's got another year, so he'll be there. I don't know if he qualifies as our best player, but he's on the list.
Tootin may be the only one.
Well, here's the thing. Tootin missed a few games, so if he wants something at the next level, he's going to have to put the skills on display.
So, honestly, I don't think he has to. I think he'll be just fine.
Well, he probably will, but I mean, at the same time, though, look how many people, I mean, I'm not saying he's leaving early because obviously he's out of eligibility at the end of this year. But look how many people from this program have cut their tape short by leaving early with bad advice, sitting out, whatever. I don't know. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't because of the injury. But I honestly, if the guys behind him are healthy, it's a totally different game. But they've done okay. When okay, like I think they could put enough together to do it.
What are you talking about?
Well, if the question is, are our best players going to play in the bowl game? Drones is in because he's got another year. Tootin might be out, but I mean, across the board, there's a lot of seniors there, and I just nobody has impressed anybody this year. It's been a mediocre team.
Yeah.
So they're going to want to put more tape, for scouts to look at, have another opportunity to play in a game that, like Paul said, is going to draw eyes, get some attention. I don't know. Maybe it's a national stage that we don't burn down this time, but
I don't know.
I mean, it'll be at 2.
It'll
be at 2 o'clock on a Tuesday.
I think they can do whatever they want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Those are first round picks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the thing is okay. So Chris makes a good point. Tootin, Felton. He says there's another one or two, but the thing is if Tootin. Okay, so Tootin I will accept. Tootin is out. He's gone. I don't blame him. He has an opportunity. He is the one Virginia Tech Hokie, in my opinion, that has an opportunity to get drafted. He's going to be a day 3 guy, but he's going to have an opportunity and he can ball up. The rest of them, Felton, all of the wide receivers, with the exception of maybe Benji Gosnell, have less yards than the top receivers in college football have in one game.
Yeah.
And so there's
just spend all that money on an offensive line, Paul.
Well, for 2 years now, we've been fucking kicking around this crap offensive line. And everybody said, 2 years ago, it was because the coach wasn't on the same page with the offensive coordinator. He had too many cooks in the kitchen, blah, blah, blah. Last year, we're going to get better because they've all been together. They're going to play again another year. This year, you've got everybody allegedly on the same page in the offensive room, and the offensive line is still trash. So,
I'm not going to do this anymore. It's just going to be win, and if you don't win, that's it. No more excuses. I'm done. I can't do this. After we were so spoiled after Beamer, we kept making excuses for Fu. Then we were done with Fu, and now Pride. We're not going to repeat this all over again. Just fucking win. God damn it. Just fucking win.
So, all right, I'm going to ask a question now. Like, we're talking about players not playing bowl game. I think that's, definitely there would be people sitting out. But if this program is going to make a move, if this program is going to move forward, I'm not the first one to say it. I mean, it's all over, whatever social media platform you're on these days. We're obviously not getting rid of Pry. Too expensive to offload him right now.
Mm-hmm.
Does Witt come down and say, all right, look, like, I never should have let you hire first-time coordinators on the first go-round. It's time to make some moves there. He has to, I think. Like, that's the offseason move. Here's the thing. If we win the next 3 games, because if we win this next one, then there will be 3 games. But if we win the next 3 games, then you got that excitement. And you guys are exactly right. It's the same old dog and pony show for the offseason. What is it that gets anybody excited about the program moving forward? It's new coordinators. It has to be. Like, that's the only thing that's going to kind of move that needle. But then what do new coordinators mean in terms of the transfer portal? Who leaves because their coach is leaving? And, who are we able to bring back in to fill those holes?
Well,
I think new coordinators is table stakes.
NIL dime on an offensive line. It doesn't matter. Then just get whatever running backs. If you got a good enough line, they can hit whatever holes they're making.
Malachi Thomas is a great running back.
Yes.
Yeah, Malachi Thomas is a fine running back.
Yeah.
Yes. Go ahead and upgrade the offensive line. Get it to where it needs to
I
be.
agree.
And I promise the entire offense is going to come along.
Yeah.
Like, that's
absolutely.
where you establish it. Yes.
Yep.
And then after you do that, you get your quarterback, and then you fill out the rest of the positions. But you start off and you make sure your offensive line is fucking solid. That's how you build an offense. And it's overlooked, and it's just like it's amateur hour so much on the coaching staff with the way they're building this. And I have never understood that. And I understand that offensive linemen, there's a lot more misses than hits when it comes to evaluating high school talent, and I know it's tougher to get together, but, this is the age of NIL. Fucking pay for a known quantity. Fuck.
Right. I mean,
Jesus.
Look what they got on the defensive line when they went out and did it. Like, let the guys prove themselves. Go out and bring them in.
Yes. At least Virginia Tech fans aren't like Kentucky's. Right, Jeremy? Yes, Chris Arnold. Fuck Kentucky fans. Kentucky. Now, Dave, you were down there with us at the Belk Bowl, or not Belk Bowl. It was God. What was it down there at the time before it was Duke's Mayo?
I think it was still the Belk Bowl then.
Yeah, it was Belk Bowl.
Yep. Yeah, it was.
Because we were there. We were there the first time we played when we had that comeback against Arkansas.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was
you
awesome.
were down with us when we were getting slam hammered drunk at the Hokie Bar down there, and the Kentucky
Graham Street Pub, baby.
Yes, Graham Street Pub.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Graham Street Pub.
The Kentucky fans, will you back me up on this? Did you have the same experience I did? They just fucking sucked.
They did.
Like, they weren't fun to be around.
No, not at all.
It's a bowl game. Typically, when you're at a bowl game, it's a lot of people who will travel to go see the team. It tends to be like more people that are laid back there to have a good time kind of thing, because this wasn't like a fucking playoff game. They were not fun. They fucking sucked. They were terrible to be around. Like, so I take shots with opposing fans. That's what I do.
Yeah.
And they were just like, they looked at me like I was deranged.
Can I tell you my favorite Kentucky story?
Yes.
That might redeem a little bit of this. So when I was in school, my fraternity would take our pledge class every semester on a pledge trip to a different chapter. The semester that I was pledging, we went to the University of Kentucky. And I was on campus the night that Leitner hit that shot to knock them out of the tournament. I was standing in the ATO house with all of their ATOs, parties going crazy because 3 seconds before that, they had just taken the lead. I have never seen, it was literally in the span of 15 seconds, Leitner hits the shot, the lights get turned out in the house, they all turned to us and they were like, you guys can do whatever you want to do, we're done, we're going to bed. That was it. They were out. So we went up the street because we knew, like, in every college, there's at least one fraternity where the guys had no idea what's going on with the athletic department whatsoever.
Right.
And it was sorry, Paul, it was the Teaks at Kentucky. So we ended up there and had a great night. But then the next day, as we were
coming to their party.
Oh yeah, we had a great time. We actually told them that we were coming.
Out. It's dangerous.
Well, so here's the deal.
You don't let randos into your parties anymore because you don't.
You do
cause trouble, and you'll get in trouble.
Just 1981.
That's
but here's the thing:
get in trouble in 1981.
You let them in when they come up from down the street and say, "Hey, we just left the ATO house, and those guys are lame," and they're like, "Hell yeah, they are," and they welcomed us in the door.
Hell yeah, they are.
But
we don't
keep
up with athletics. Come in, let's play Magic the Gathering. It was awesome. It was a good night.
We've got goldfish in the back if you guys want any.
They're so delicious.
But then the next morning, this was great. This was not a Kentucky student. This was actually just some old dude in Lexington. I don't know if the story's going to translate on video or not, but anyway, we stopped at Burger King.
It's already pretty strong.
Yeah, exactly.
It ended up being some old man. Please continue this story.
The next morning we stopped for breakfast on the way out of town at Burger King, right? And we're all standing around. We've got these like big, 12-person vans or whatever. And in each of the vans, there was a puke bucket that fortunately didn't get used. I will say that. Didn't get used. So
that's just a sad basket.
We're talking. Yeah. Well, fortunately, we were able to stop. And I mean, anyway. So we're standing around the parking lot. One of my fraternity brothers puts one of the buckets on his head. We're throwing a football around while we're waiting for everybody to get their food. This old man pulls up. Keep in mind, it's 1992. So to roll the window down, the man had to do this number. So he pulls up as he's on his way to the drive-through line, dressed for church. It's like 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning. And he looks at my fraternity brother AD and he goes, "Boy, why do you have a bucket on your head?" And my fraternity brother, without missing a beat, goes, "I'm sorry, I can't hear you. I have a bucket on my head." And the man just looked at him and rolled his window up, looked at his wife, and as they were closing it, you could hear his wife go, "These kids are weird these days." Rolled up the window.
Brought that like Nicolas Cage on Raising Arizona.
What?
Boy, you've got a panty on your head.
Oh yeah, pretty much exactly like that. Yeah.
Marnie has said that he had a Kentucky fan ready to fight him after he mentioned Christopher Laettner in 2021. So it is still harsh.
Indeed. I think Laettner's their Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Dave.
Yeah.
It had to come up.
No, Marnie was over in Louisville for a while, so he got like this weird experience of like clashes with like the Kentucky people, because you go anywhere outside of the Louisville area, it's all UK.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But he was right in Louisville, so he got to see a lot of that stuff. Laettner is known as a tool from generations past. Just saying.
Everybody hates Christian Laettner, and I don't really understand why. Is it just because he's so much better, or was so much better than you? I don't really understand the hate for Christian Laettner.
I think it's because he was the Duke at the time. He was the Duke player that got away with everything.
My bad, Marnie. He lived in Lexington, not Louisville. Same fucking place. Whatever. I don't know.
It's all Kentucky.
It started with an L. I'd go there and I'd get drunk. Like,
I hear there's bourbon.
You made me barbecue ribs, and I was happy. Like, this is what we did when we visited your house. Now we're on to. Oh no, we actually went through all our categories. The last one is still up here. Is Grayson is mad as fuck, which I'm probably going to keep as a category just for the shit of it, because I know Grayson's mad as fuck.
Well, I mean, he doesn't have anything to be mad about this week, because again, the Hokies didn't lose. They also didn't win. So, I mean, he might be mad about the basketball team.
Other sports.
Am I though?
I feel like this week made Grayson angrier, because it's just more apparent that we made a lot of sacrifices to have a good football team, and we don't have a good football team.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So we cut our dick off to spite our face.
Listen, I told Jimmy Cleveland. It's close. That's something like that. I believe that's in the Bible. I told Jimmy Cleveland, Nathan Brennan, Andrew Alex, Brady Hess. I told all those guys, look, you fuckers, you want this team to succeed, you got to get off your wallet. You got to make donations. You can't just be sitting there bitching, and I said,
I don't believe that anymore.
Yeah. No,
I think we had the money and we did not spend it correctly.
Well,
that's what I think.
I mean, okay, then that's a internal issue, right? Like that's not like
it's becoming more and more apparent there are a lot of internal issues.
There are internal issues, but let me ask this, and I'm crossing the streams on sports here.
We crossing streams right now, Dave, in front of everybody.
Oh, indeed.
Well, we are kind of facing each other this way.
That's right.
We can do this live.
Yeah.
It's like being at the tots. It's like being at the tots trough.
God, I'm still mad they took the troughs out of Lane.
Yes. So here's a question though. Like, if the money was there, I get that we drained the coffers on all the other sports to feed football. But
which was
that
the right
doesn't
move.
Yes, I agree. But here's the thing. If I don't think the donations were coming in, because if donations were coming in, I mean, that drive for 25 or whatever it was not meant to just fuel football. Like, that's meant to fuel the athletic department. Yeah. And so everything that came in was rerouted to football. Then you have Sean Padula, who couldn't pass the ball to anybody last year who was wearing a Virginia Tech uniform. Now at Ole Miss, making 40% of the entire basketball's NIL allotment at Virginia Tech. So I disagree that the money's coming in. I think what money is coming in is barely enough to float the football program, but it's clearly not enough to have a successful athletic program, and that needs to start going up.
But you look on the flip side, and I don't.
This is not the richest area in the world.
Well,
I know that, but we've got. I mean, you can't walk down the street in Northern Virginia without, running into 18 Virginia Tech alumni.
Yeah,
that's true. How long is that going to last, though? Like, we'll run into alumni, but how long are they going to be fans? Like, that's why it was important that Clemson did it.
I don't know. Are those fans waiting for everybody else to donate money, or are they going to do it themselves?
Yes, that's why Clemson, what they did with IMTE was so important, because it's, they established donating like so early, and that was a part of their culture, and they built it up. It's going to take us time to do that.
Yeah.
And then, it also doesn't help when the athletic department screws over local businesses and leaves a bad taste in their mouth, and they vow to never donate again.
Oh, I hadn't heard about that. Yes, I have heard about that. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
I've just heard stories about that.
Just stories.
Just stories.
Yeah, sure.
Just stories about that. But, when
it all started with a little tree.
It fucking comes back round.
Tell your doctors to send your prescriptions to Count's Family Pharmacy.
That is right. Count's Family Pharmacy, ladies and gentlemen. Dave's right. Yeah. Even if you're like me and you live in Roanoke, get your pharmaceuticals from Count's Family Pharmacy.
And your Legos.
Oh, yeah.
Your Legos. I do have Legos.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, you do.
No, full on.
Let me just say this. That is one of my favorite things, Jeremy, that you're doing right now, because when I was growing up, one of my best friends growing up, his dad was a pharmacist and had a local pharmacy in a small town, and that was where you went to get all the cool shit. Like, they had a great candy aisle. Like, Halloween was awesome when we go hang out with them. They had, just like you, they had like toys. It was more than a pharmacy. It was where the community could go and like get their prescriptions, know they were going to get taken care of, but there was cool shit all over the place. And I love that you're doing that, by the way. I think it's awesome.
I appreciate that. That's always been my vision. Unfortunately, that vision has been ruined by the town planting a tree in front of my sign.
Son of a bitch. Didn't see that coming.
Fucking tree.
Yep. The tree to welcome the customers, according to Chris.
Hey, maybe you could get somebody else to run into the tree instead of the
I've offered to take that tree out, and Jeremy gets real. You want to see Jeremy get real squirrely? Jay Tucker and I'll take that tree out for you on Saturday.
No, you will not. Jay Tucker and Paul will not take that tree out, and I did not ever say at any point that I wanted anyone to take that tree out. I just made a passing comment upon that tree and how unhealthy I think it should probably look here in the future. That's all I said. I said nothing about anyone doing anything.
When does that guy get out of prison in Auburn?
Yeah, exactly. There are arbor laws that protect these trees. No one touch that damn tree. And don't drag me down with you. Especially not Paul and Jay.
Paging Michael Schmolitz.
Back to all of us immediately. Immediately. That would be the worst crime of the century. Oh, that tree from the pharmacy died. I wonder who did that.
So wait, does I'm learning the regulars here. Does Marnie live in Kentucky?
He used to live in Kentucky. Marnie is one of my best friends in the world. I've known him since middle school. He now works for Walmart at home office.
But he's
one of their big trainers there. He trains like their CEO.
He's in Bentonville, Arkansas.
Yeah.
Okay, so that makes total sense that the local pharmacy is a pharmacy/gun store.
Yes.
Yeah, Bentonville, Arkansas. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Chris, if you want to carve my initials in Jeremy's tree, I'm fine with that. I have no issue at all with that.
I've got no issue with anyone doing anything as long as I'm not directly involved, and I am not inciting violence toward the tree. I am not inciting violence toward the tree.
Joseph Rogers says, and I quote, "Get Schmolitz on that tree."
No, don't get Smollett on that tree.
He's making dowel rods now, not planks. He's making dowel rods.
But you know, here's the thing with Schmolitz. Schmolitz will uproot the whole fucking tree and go plant it at his farm. No one will ever see the tree again,
kill it.
but the tree will live a long. He will live a long. That tree will live a long, happy life on Schmolitz's farm.
Our fraternity may or may not have done that with trees in the industrial park to create for our Christmas trees.
Well, there you go, Jeremy. Let's just cut the top off and make a Christmas tree in the pharmacy with it.
No.
Just take it off right at the bottom of the branches.
I don't think you all understand the target that I have on my back at all times. I can't step out of line even with a fucking tree in front of my building because I never know where this shit will come from.
Listen, here's what I'm going to say to everybody that is tuning into this or potentially may tune into this. Jeremy had nothing to do with what Jay Tucker and I do to that tree. There. It's all solved. I fixed it.
No.
Except it was mostly Jay Tucker.
I'm not worried about the town. Something would happen.
Well, Jay Tucker's going to be mayor
have
one day,
the National Forest Service come in because it would somehow have become this super protected tree overnight whenever they found out that this was happening. This would happen to me. That's what I'm telling you all. I cannot be involved in any of that. Because
it grew from the acorn of an old growth tree in Stadium Woods.
Old Jeremy's got to be squeaky.
From the tree out on the plantation on campus, the great big one, the gathering tree. That's where it came from. So that's
Ooh, maybe I could feed it a bunch of, I don't know, plant steroids and make it a big tree and make it a gathering tree. Because right now it's grown up just to the right half and it won't get any taller. And that height blocked my entire goddamn sign.
I wonder what would happen to that tree if Joseph Rogers maybe just took some of the dirty water from, cleaning carpets and just emptied it on the tree like once a week.
I don't know, but
it would probably be tree steroids.
He was doing that at all. I had no clue.
All you have to do is make the tree grow high enough that the limbs are above the sign. I mean, we can also beat the city the town that way.
That's true.
I mean, the folks in the condos would appreciate the shade if it got tall, right?
I would think so.
Yeah, somewhat. Greg's above me. He said that tree's his exit strategy to get out in case something happens.
He did. See, Joseph in the name of science.
We love you, Jeremy. I love you too, Joe. If that button wasn't so big, it wouldn't be so fun to push it. I know. It's fun to get me worked up. I understand this.
Oh, what would Viagra do to it? I'd be willing to foot the $150 for a year's supply if we just put. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know the physiology of a tree.
All
right. I can look at it. I'll take me a look because I've got a ton of Viagra and you can get a year's worth.
Well, let me tell you, if it was a palm tree, that would be very interesting because of the internal structure of a palm tree. I'll tell you that.
That's true. That honestly, it might get dangerous if you did that to a palm tree. Just
I doubt it wouldn't sway in the wind as much.
It would not. There would be no sway.
Would that be considered morning wood at that point?
Before noon.
Is it sad?
No, not M-O-U-R, M-O-R. Morning. Like, for those of us, Jeremy, that still get erections without the use of Count's Family Pharmacy, sometimes you wake up in the morning and...
No, Paul, not at your age. That doesn't happen.
Oh, but it may.
Hey, so new coordinators.
Hey, guys, my grandmother's listening to this.
Well.
Nanny, go to bed. I told
Grandma,
you.
my shit still works.
Meemaw, get in bed.
Might be the wrong conversation to have as we talk about my erectile perfection.
Yes, perfection. But you all, Dave, stay on with us for afterwards. We got to do our uploads with the videos and the audios and stuff. Everyone, sorry for the audio issues earlier. StreamYard has given me issues twice today with audio, and I have no clue why. But I'm glad we got it all straightened out. Thank you all for joining us. We'll be back next Tuesday to hopefully fill your heads.
Chris, you know I will. You know, brother.
What did Chris say?
He said, "Stay hard."
Stay hard.
It's a tough way to walk around,
Rock
man.
hard. Player of the week. Blacksburg on the rocks. Rock hard. Player of the week. Let's go. See y'all next week.
Thanks, y'all.